Good morning and welcome to Our Chicago. I'm Samantha Chapman. Just over 3 years ago, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker and governors around the country issued stay-at-home orders. And that's when many people's homes became their workplaces. You all remember that, right? For some, that really hasn't changed. So is work from home here to stay, at least for a while? We are talking about that with John Challenger, CEO of the outplacement firm Challenger, Gray and Christmas. John, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Nice to be with you, Sam.
Really appreciate it. So in a recent report, a security company found that about 50% of workers in Chicago were back in the office. That was the highest since March of 2020. Do you expect that to keep rising, or have we reached a plateau?
Well, we don't really know yet, but it does seem like it'll be easier for people to commute in this summer, and yet at the same time, there'll be more inducements to stay at home. Right now, we're really seeing that that 50% is kind of lumpy. Probably up to 50% on good days, Tuesday to Thursday. Monday might be more like 20%. Friday might only be 10% in terms of the number of people really coming into work, into their office.
Interesting. You know, we've seen headlines about companies telling workers that they need to return to the office. But what are you hearing from employers?
It's really a mixed bag. There are employers who are insistent that their workers come in, and there are companies who are the opposite and recognize that their workers would prefer to work from home. So it's a hybrid situation. There's no set way. Companies are all over the map. It depends on the company culture.
Do you think that there are employees out there who just don't get it? Like, why is my employer trying to make me come back into the office? Some people are saying, why are you ruining this for me? It's been working out. Is there that sentiment from workers that they're just not understanding why their employer wants them back so badly?
Well, there are workers who feel that way. If you're a worker, who you really settled in at home, you're getting your work done, it allows you to manage the other elements of your life, say like childcare. Being forced to come back to work is just not something that you're going to want to do. And in fact, employers who insist on that often lose those employees because there are others who will pick them up on just what they want, especially if they're a talented, highly skilled worker that the company needs.
How big of a consideration is work from home when we're talking about these employees? Are people saying this is a deal breaker? If I can't have a work from home option, I can't work here?
Well, there are workers saying that, but again, it's not all one way. I mean, there are a lot of people now who are recognizing that they've been out of the office, not allowed to come in over the last 2 or 3 years. They've never met their boss. They're not tied to that company in the same way. It's almost like they're free agents. There's not that sense of belonging that existed when they did come in. So there are also workers who are trying to come back in companies that are then saying, do we want to accommodate them? We've cut our space needs.
You kind of touched on this a bit, but what are some of the reasons why employers, companies want workers back in the office? And also, as you just touched on, what are some benefits to not having them in the office?
Well, so one big reason to have people back is just mentorship and relationships. One of the things that we learned before the pandemic, or always knew, is that often what keeps people at jobs, what makes them satisfied, are the people they work with and the friendships they form at work, not just the work itself or the money, all those are important. Some of that's been lost during COVID. So even the idea, when you're in an office with people and you're sharing ideas, someone has a good idea that may not be your boss, but says, why don't you think about it this way. A lot of that has been missing. So there are real benefits. Everybody knows there's benefits to being in person as well.
Absolutely, a lot of benefits, that camaraderie, of course, the collaboration there. Now, according to a report by Stanford University, before the pandemic, about 5% of the U.S. workforce worked from home. That number rose about 61% during the pandemic and is now down to about 30%. Do you think that will continue? That work will from home will be a lasting legacy of the pandemic?
I do think that that's one of the changes that's permanent in the way we work. Many of us work, especially if you can, with your phone and your computer. You don't necessarily need to be in the office. We've equipped our homes with that technology. So the world has changed forever. I don't think we're going back to ever to anything but a hybrid environment. It makes people more productive. They don't have the commute times. It's good for everyone if we can just get it right, the right balance, and keep culture strong, relationships strong, but also give people more freedom in their personal and work-life balance.
Yes, John, and I know a lot of our viewers at home can attest to that balance that many of them never felt that they had before the pandemic, and now they feel like they are able to really balance their schedules, and a lot of people want to hold on to that. So John Challenger with Challenger, Gray, and Christmas, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And after a short break, we're going to be talking about another possible change to the workplace. I have a feeling a lot of you are going to like this one. That's the 4-day work week.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to ABC7 Chicago Eyewitness News.